And going now to Italy, Italy's center-left leader Pierluigi Bersani has told his party he plans to step down after failing to push through his preferred presidential candidate. A further vote is scheduled for Italy's parliament today. It's now 2 months since elections failed to produce a new leader. As Italy correspondent Mya San Vicente reports, the first important move towards resolving the country's political stalemate could take days. Mia.
Italy's parliament failed to elect a new state president on Thursday, April 18, with deep splits in the center-left alliance, repeating a quick victory of its official candidate Franco Marini. Marini, a former Senate Speaker, won 521 votes, well below the required two-thirds majority of 672 of the 1,007 electors, comprising members of both houses of parliament and regional representatives. Marini's clear failure in a vote which is key to filling a government void since the deadlocked general election in February was a slap in the face for center-left leader Pierluigi Bersani. He badly split his party by nominating Marini in a deal with center-right boss Silvio Berlusconi. Following the indecisive vote, some 100 angry protesters gathered outside the parliament. The protesters, many of whom were allied to the Democratic Party, are angered that the party leader Pierluigi Bersani appeared to have done a deal with the rival Silvio Berlusconi to nominate Franco Marini as president.
We can't speak of a government of change and then construct a political reality that chooses the right pieces in order for Berlusconi to agree with it.
When there's a new president, then that president will be able to negotiate from a position of strength. He or she will be able to say, if you don't get a government, then I will dissolve parliament. But for the same reasons that it's difficult to get a president, and it has already been difficult to impossible so far to find a government, those underlying problems are not going to be solved by electing a president.
It will be up to the new president to end the political deadlock left by the elections, either by persuading the parties to find a compromise that would allow a new government to be formed, or by dissolving the parliament and calling for a new national vote. Reporting from Rome, Italy, this is Mya San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition.
And back to Rome, Italy, Mia is back with a report on the Concordia ship disaster. Mia.
It was one of the largest, costliest, and arguably most infamous cruise ship disasters since the Titanic. Alma, if you'll remember, the Costa Concordia is a 15-story luxury liner which ran aground off the coast of Italy on Friday, the 13th of January 2012, killing 32 people. But in the last year or more, as the story faded from the headlines, what has happened to the man they call Captain Coward, blamed for causing the crash and abandoning the ship? On Monday, April 15, Italian prosecutors launched a case to put officers of the Costa Concordia on trial for the accident in which the giant cruise ship ran aground and capsized off the coast of Tuscany last year, killing 32 people. Prosecutors argue that former Captain Francesco Schettino should stand trial on charges including manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, and abandoning the ship in the January 2012 accident. If convicted, Schettino could face 20 years in jail. Alma, the giant ship came too close and hit an underwater rock. For an hour as panic set in, the crew told the more than 4,000 passengers to return to their cabin and that it was just a minor technical problem. And by the time Captain Schettino got around issuing the abandoned ship order, the vessel was in chaos, with people pushing one another to the lifeboats, and some of them jumping to their deaths. The luxury liner hit a rock that tore a gash in its hull and caused it to collapse over onto its side, half submerged, where it still rests awaiting salvage off the island of Giglio. The court in Grosseto in Tuscany, close to where the accident took place, will also consider whether 5 other officers should face charges ranging from manslaughter to failure to cooperate with marine authorities. Those named by prosecutors are bridge officers Ciro Ambrosio and Silvia Coronica, helmsman Jacob Rusley, cabin services manager Manrico Giampedroni, and the fleet crisis coordinator Roberto Ferrarini. Hearings in the case are scheduled up to April 24, meaning it will be at least a week before Judge Pietro Molino can be expected to make a decision.
More than a year after it went down, the Costa Concordia is still surrounded by cranes and vessels, carrying out an extraordinary, expensive, and unprecedented salvage operation to turn this huge hunk of steel upright and float it away. Originally expected to be finished by the autumn of this year, the work may be delayed because of the risk that seasonal tides could shift the wreck once it's lifted off its side in preparation for being moved away to be broken up. Reporting from Italy, this is Mya San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition. Back to you, Ang.
All right, thank you, Mia. And we'll be back with more news right after this break. Stay tuned.